What's going on, everyone? Thanks for coming here and checking out this Resident Evil 8 Village video. In this one, I'm going to be dissecting the cutscene where we got our first gun thanks to the Freecam mod that's available on Nexus Mods. With this mod, I'll be showing what happens to the old man that gets snatched up in the attic by the Lycan. I'll also be showing what the Lycan does outside the building when the old man is looking around during the cutscene, and I'll be showing a few other extra things I think you all will find interesting around this cutscene. And by the way, if you find this kind of content enjoyable, consider taking a little bit of your time and leaving a like on the video some point during this. The support is greatly appreciated. As always, that's totally up to you. Just leaving a friendly reminder here in the beginning. But yeah, before I get into all of this, let me go ahead and show you guys the cutscene I'm talking about. I'll also be playing it in a different perspective too, thanks once again to the Freecam mod, and we'll also be able to see Ethan's face as well, thanks to the third person mod I downloaded too. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this different take of the cutscene.
No, friendly.
Who are you? Who sent you?
Nobody. There was an accident down on the road and... What's going on?
Oh no. They're coming.
Who is? What the hell was that?
Do you have a gun?
What?
Please tell me you have a gun.
No, why would I?
Take it! Take it!
Hey, are you listening?
Hey!
So where do I even begin with all of this? I guess I'll start before even starting the cutscene. I decided to go in Freecam to check what the old man was doing before we pulled the curtain, because we do see this tin can roll out from underneath it. However, when I went to go check what's behind it, to my surprise he wasn't even rendered in. It seems the developers programmed the tin can to roll from underneath that curtain when entering that point of the building, to give off the illusion that someone is behind there. But technically the old man doesn't render in until we press the button to pull the curtain. I thought that was interesting to know. Also, that's when the gun spawns in too. In my case, it's the banana gun, because I was using the banana gun and spoon mod just for some fun. I have to say, it actually genuinely got me to laugh during this cutscene when he was like demanding me to take the banana. Like, take it! Take it! Like, okay, I'm gonna take the banana. I don't know. Check this out.
You have a gun?
What?
Please tell me you have a gun.
No, why would I?
Take it! Take it!
It was hilarious my first time seeing it. I was actually laughing. Also, the werewolves aren't anywhere to be seen in the attic or underneath us yet either. However, the one in the attic spawns in creepily, looking down from the cracks of the wood up here, as you can see. So the whole time the cutscene was going on during this point, this thing was listening in and watching us from up above, just waiting for the old man to get to the spot where he could get him. Or it could have been us if we went to that spot. I honestly thought the Lycan that the old man shot at outside of the window was the same one that ended up getting him, but it turns out it wasn't, and it makes sense on why it wasn't now that I think about it, because he did state they are coming.
They're coming.
So you know he was meaning not just one. I think the developers' overall goal was just to make it seem that they were surrounding the building. The Lycan that the old man shot at outside just runs past the window briefly. You know, now that I think about it, we're not even able to see the werewolf run past during the cutscene because we turn around when the old man shoots. And the old man didn't come close to shooting it, as you can see here. But I mean, he did react and try to get it. But yeah, as you can see, he was behind on his shot. Pretty interesting though how we can only see this werewolf during this perspective. We're not able to see it run past during the regular cutscene, and how the old man didn't even come close to hitting it. But yeah, this Lycan, you know, that the old man shot at just runs straight past the window, through this building, and then freezes and disappears at this wall in here, which this is where we entered the building at. It seems it was just programmed to go here and then disappear because its job was done, which was once again just to make the place feel surrounded during the cutscene. Just crazy how we don't really actually see this werewolf, we just hear it during it, unless we're in a different perspective once again. And it's a similar scenario with the Lycan that pulls the old man up. Except, interesting enough, it was programmed to come on the far edge over here. As you can see, there's some destruction over here. And yeah, this is where he takes the old man in his shotgun and then freezes and disappears. However, it takes a little while for the old man and the werewolf to disappear. They officially disappear when Ethan gets pulled underneath the house. And something that fascinated me about this scene that I can't believe I didn't notice before, because we do have to run back through this house to get the bolt cutters, but we don't exactly get pulled underneath the house where it seems like we do in the cutscene. As you can see in the cutscene, it seems like we get pulled underneath the house right around where the old man got pulled up in the attic. But in actuality, we got pulled underneath over there, as you can see. We just randomly teleport over here and the Lycan drags us underneath. And speaking of the Lycan, he just randomly spawns in when the scene of us getting pulled underneath happens. He won't be there until that officially happens. Also, something else about the Lycan down here, and this whole scene in general while being underneath the house, once the werewolf does officially attack us down here and throws us outside, if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense either, because as you can see, look where the werewolf throws us. Throws us just at this wall, and then we just disappear. And then we just reappear back in the house and thrown through this wall. Technically, the werewolf isn't even throwing us here, we're just programmed to go through the wall to make it seem like he did during the cutscene. I have to say, overall, the cutscene flowed really nicely. I didn't notice this whatsoever until I started to actually think about how the house should have looked after the chaos. This didn't connect with me during my first playthrough. I was just wanting to get the heck out of there. I wasn't really examining this place this hard like I am now. Like, the amount of times I had to come back to this same scene to get different angles within Freecam is a ridiculous amount. I'm kind of embarrassed to even speak about how many times I really did come back to this one scene to research it and make this one video, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I think the developer's purpose over making the house destroyed like this was to help guide us and make sure we don't backtrack. As you can see, they do have this entrance blocked off here, and this is where we teleported to go underneath the house. I think this was just a technique by the developers to help guide us. Then again, there could have been different plans for this cutscene, where Ethan was supposed to run once the old man was officially all the way up in the attic and we couldn't help him. And then this is where the werewolf would catch him before he could get out of the door. I don't know. Either way, it all played out, and I didn't recognize this at first, so I thought this would be something else interesting to share. Anyways, back to the old man that got pulled up in the attic. Here's how exactly that Lycan was programmed to move after getting him. He literally goes straight up after grabbing him, and then goes over to the far edge of the rooftop here. And you can literally see him phasing through the roof too when coming over to this edge. I don't know why it specifically had to come over here, but yeah, that's how it was programmed. So in a way, this kind of explains how the Lycan got in and out from up there. I actually went back to this cutscene and got a different point of view to see if I could see, the Lycan actually entering up there, and I didn't. It seems like he just automatically renders in, just creepily looking down from the cracks of the wood up in the attic. We don't actually see him like climb up into the building or anything. However, we do hear, noises during the cutscene to make it seem like he's on the roof and everything.
Gun. No, why would I?
So yeah, it seems like this opening that he heads toward after grabbing the old man might be how the developers were trying to keep immersion over the noises we were hearing and how he exactly got in. Because as you can see, it's like a perfect path off this roof too. So yeah, it seems like this is actually where he did get in at and out of, because the developers programmed him to exit out from over this way. So I'm assuming this whole destruction right here that they made on this building was to give off the idea, if any player did ever look up here, that that's where the Lycan got in at to get the old man, which would honestly be hard to even spot out when playing the game regularly. So it's pretty cool they even added this destruction up there for, immersive purposes. This also shows how, the Lycan didn't technically devour him right then and there up there. He actually ran off with his dead body once he killed him. It would have been so crazy if the developers added like a secret or something for us to discover where we would see, his body with his shotgun somewhere around. Been cool if we, could have used his shotgun or something, and we could have taken out the Lycan that got him too. But unfortunately, I didn't see his body anywhere, and I tried looking around for a while. I thought this might have been him, but after examining him a little closer to detail, I noticed there are some differences with his jacket. As you can see, there's this button right here, and those buttons like that aren't on the sleeves of the old man's jacket. This guy also has on a different colored shirt, and he doesn't have that strange necklace either on him, and he's not wearing the hats, nor did I see the shotgun in here or around the body. And this guy has different boots on compared to the old guy. As you can see, these are like combat boots, and the pants are tucked into them. However, with the old guy, the pants aren't tucked in, and they don't look like combat boots. They look like some regular work boots or something. Actually, here, when the old guy is getting pulled up into the attic, we can get a good point of view over the bottom of his boots too. And the bottom of his boots look completely different than the bottom of these, as you can see. Also, not to mention, he looks younger as well. I don't see really any wrinkles, and this guy has color to his hair, unlike the old fella that gave us the gun. Sorry for the over explanation there. I really had to do some serious detective work with this, because I truly thought that this was the old guy at first, and I thought at first this is where the werewolf took him. But after, further examining this body, I realized that this isn't him. There's just too many differences for this guy to be the old guy that we encountered beforehand that gave us our first gun. Speaking of this body, I also tried to see who was dragging it, and yeah, here was the results. Nothing's dragging it. It's just programmed to move away once we get in a certain range of the building. Also, something else that I wanted to note about this part, because there is another body that we find that comes through the roof up here in this barn, where we see the body get dragged in. It seems like that's actually the same body, because there's a lot of similarities on that guy, and they have the same exact combat boots too, with the pants tucked into them. As you can see, for an outer perspective up here, when you do go get the handgun ammo, you'll randomly start to be attacked from this werewolf that's programmed to spawn out of nowhere here for a jump scare, and then goes up to the top of this roof and disappears. And once it disappears, a person drops through the roof. And this person looks extremely identical to the one that we seen get dragged when first entering this building. Nonetheless, a pretty interesting experience inside this place. I just wanted to point out this person specifically that we do find up here, just because this could have been the old guy as well. But it turns out this guy isn't him. I can spot too many differences on him. If anything, he's the guy that we see get dragged in here. But yeah, I guess that's not wrapping up this video, everybody. Hopefully you found this enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie, this took quite a while to make because I had to keep running back to this same scene over and over and over again. But I think it was worth it because it gives us a whole new perspective over this part and how it exactly all plays out. It would have been neat if we could actually find the old man's body with his shotgun and that Lycan as well, but it doesn't seem like that's the case whatsoever. Once again, I was trying to look all around and I didn't see him anywhere. It doesn't mean he's not in the game somewhere. But as far as how much I looked around, he's not. He just disappears. It's as if, the werewolf just ate him completely. And that's it of him and his shotty. I will say, though, you can find his shotgun pretty early here by just running up inside this building. And inside here, you can find a shotgun laying on this table. And it can be really beneficial here in the beginning. Definitely recommend picking this up around this part. But yeah, anyways, I hope you all found this enjoyable and this was something new to you and entertaining as well. But yeah, I'm out of here, everyone. As always, thanks for taking the time, watching and listening. Until next time, peace.